What's going on? I'm back at the park and I have an impossible trick. It's not really impossible for a lot of people. It seems pretty goddamn easy for everyone else, but for me, I've always struggled with this trick. Today, I'm gonna do what some people call Nollie half cab switch crooked grind, but because it's not fakey, it's really not a half cab. It is technically called a Nollie frontside 180 switch crook. I'm gonna do this on the ledge and I'm gonna try to figure this out finally. I've always struggled with Nollie front 180s and like switch back 180s. And today I'm gonna just figure out how to finally just conquer this one because it doesn't seem that hard. It seems very simple compared to a lot of other tricks I'm able to do, but for some reason I just can't do it. Also, I wanna take a second to shout out the Fonz 68W. They're my first channel membership subscriber. I don't even know if that's what it's called, but I made a membership portion of my channel where you guys can check out the 3-tier list. You get different features with each tier, and some of which include early access to videos, some are some like members only chats and stuff like that. Not really too sure how it works, but in the upcoming weeks, I'm gonna really dial it in and figure out how to connect with you guys even more. You know the deal. I'm gonna throw on my socks and shoes, give you my hypothesis, and see if we can finally figure out not only Nollie 180 switch crooks, but Nollie 180s in general. All right, so Nollie 180 switch backside crooked grind. Got the Blue Johns today. Also got a nice coffee today. It's pretty hot out. It was the fall for about a week in California, and then just out of nowhere, right back to summer. Hence why I'm sitting in the shade. I don't know if you'll even be able to really see this. I'll try to fix this when I edit this video, but I'm not going in the sun. It's too hot out there. All right, so Nollie, did I already say that? I think I said that already. So really, I think my biggest problem, not even I know my biggest problem with this trick is the fact that I just do not know how to keep my balance and my composure when I do anything Nollie frontside. I use a lot of my momentum to get in the trick, and sometimes when you use a little extra force to get into something, you kind of trade a little bit of your balance. And usually I trade all of my balance for momentum, which by the time a Nollie 180 or anything of that sort comes around, I'm just completely off balance. My whole center of gravity is just messed up. My shoulders are in the wrong place, and usually I just miss the trick or miss the lock-in of the grind trick I'm trying to get into. So I think what I mainly need to focus on is just doing good Nollie front 180s. Today, this is gonna be kind of like a multi-level learning process. It's gonna start on the ground, obviously, because that's the most reasonable place to start. It's gonna start with a lot of Nollie 180s on flat. Once I'm comfortable on flat ground, I think I'm gonna have to go to the ledge and do Nollie frontside tail sides, which is not the greatest trick and is probably like a pretty awkward one to do, at least for me and my ability to actually do Nollie front 180s and try to aim it. But I think that's gonna help me understand the distance from the ledge that I need to go at, because your approach on this trick is so important, especially for me, because I don't have a ton of control to kind of move my Nollie around a lot. This one is gonna be a lot of where I'm setting up from is what's gonna get me into the trick, not so much like me adjusting in the air. Because I'll admit, I'm not that good at doing Nollie variations, and especially Nollie spin variations where I can kind of readjust. With a kickflip, I can let it hit my feet. I can kind of kick it to some other spot so I can get into the next trick. I've gotten really good at that, but when it comes to Nollies, I'm okay. I'm not the best at Nollie tricks, and today, I'm gonna get a little bit better. Also, the reason I'm doing a Nollie trick today is because I rolled my ankle a couple days ago and it's on my flicking foot. And as much as I really wanna do a kickflip trick today, there's a little bit of limitation. It doesn't feel too bad. It actually feels pretty good. I went skating yesterday and it was all right. I was able to skate pretty normal, but I don't want to overdo it and just think that it's all going to be good. So today I'm going to work on something else because I think I've flipped my board enough. All right, I've got my socks and my shoes on. It's time to go to flat ground to figure out how we can eventually get to the ledge and do Nollie front 180 switch crook. But of course, first we got to start with those warm-up tricks. I'm going to make this list a little shorter today. A lot of the stuff that I think is going to hurt my foot, I'm going to leave out because I think I have enough tricks in here that don't involve flipping my board that will be good enough to get me warmed up for this trick. I just got through the warm-up and I just left a couple tricks out because I thought it was kind of going to hurt my foot. I was just not really trying to jeopardize the whole mission I got today. Warm-up is important, but this trick I'm trying is way more important. So now I'm going to go to flat ground, do some Nollie 180s, and get a nice little baseline of what I need to do to learn this trick. This is going to suck. Don't laugh. All right, they're starting to feel a little comfier, but still got to figure out how I could get my shoulders in the right position, because every time I do this, I'm leaning so far back that even if I did get into a switch crook, I feel like I would just lock in and shoot out. I got to figure out how to just kind of tuck my right shoulder and almost like lean into my land. All right, I think the most important thing I just learned about that is it has everything to do with your back foot. The nollie kind of happens no matter where your front foot is on the nose, and maybe not like wherever, but there's a lot of places I can pop from where it's gonna do the same shit. But what always changes it is where my back foot is. And I think I kind of have to focus a little bit of like the side of my foot, almost close to my pinky toe, actually controlling the 180, because I can kind of feel it grip once I slide my foot back a little bit, and it kind of just like carries it. It's like the little bit of friction on the side of your shoe is what carries the 180 either too far or not far enough. So I think what I need to do next is go to a ledge and do nollie tail slide. I think I've got the whole nollie 180 motion down, but I have to figure out how to control it. And doing a nollie tail slide is gonna help, because I can't just do a nollie 180 like I was doing. Kind of have to do a little bit slower of one. That's gonna tell me how to control getting into tricks when turning nollie, which is the hardest part. The switch crook, once it happens, I think it's just gonna go. I'm pretty comfortable with switch crooked grinds. I'm pretty comfortable with 180 switch crooks. So that feeling is gonna be pretty normal. It's just getting into it is gonna feel very strange. As much as I wanna just do this on the little ledge to start, I think it would be a lot more comfortable trying it on the taller one, because I really do not want to try nollie tail slide on some really small ledge. I think it's pretty obvious. I don't want to get on top and just fry my shit immediately. So I'm going to just pretty much focus on this ledge doing the nollie tail slides. Maybe I'll come back to the little one to try to get the lock in for the switch crook, but for now, I'm going to start on the big one. All right, I think this is going to be some very calculated shit. I'm usually not this calculated, but this one I think needs a little bit of math. So if my board is that long, that means that I have to nollie going forward, gap into the ledge at about this distance. So let's say like this far away from the ledge, I gotta pop. Made a line. Let's see if that worked. I think that actually worked. Looked like shit, but it worked. All right, let's do a couple of fakie to try to get this motion down. I really got to learn how to swing my shoulders into this one. A couple more of these and then we'll get to work. Okay, that was pretty helpful. It made me understand this a lot more, but I still need to figure out how to nollie completely into a switch crook. I'm gonna go to the little ledge to try to figure this out to then eventually move on to the big one. But I'm gonna start here, I'm gonna start trying. Probably should check the big grinds first. All right, it does. Oh, this is one of those tricks that's like, there's no way to ease into it. You kind of just have to try it and trust that you know what you're doing. I can't tell if that felt good or if I half-assed it, because I locked in, but I wasn't really trying to actually land it. Okay, that's 3 lock-ins in a row. I think it's time to try it. I hate this time. It's always the worst. The first one you actually try to put 2 feet on, but 3 in a row is good odds. I need to figure out how to pop lower and more consistently, because I don't want to do that shit. That is my biggest fear, doing tricks on ledges. So I've got to just figure out how to control this nollie, make it a little lower to work with the height of the ledge. I think a parallel approach is what I need to do. I think I got this one. This is pretty easy. All right, this isn't that easy. I don't know if you guys feel like this, but anytime I say something's easy, I don't try the next try, because I feel like that's bad karma. Sometimes you gotta just respect the difficulty of skateboarding, not try to provoke it by saying some stupid shit like I just did. I can't believe how easy that just happened. This trick is like not that hard, because I've tried this in the past, but I never landed it. That was the first one I've ever landed. All right, well, what I've learned: parallel approach, nollie over the ledge, let your back strut kind of go over it, aim to gap in. Do a couple more. And I'm like a little dose of reality. The wind up is so crucial. Just that little bit of like shoulder turn before you go in just gives you that little bit of oomph to get into the crook. got the setup down, got the wind up, got all the aiming down. It's just a matter of finding that last little 10%, locking in and grinding. For anyone out there learning shit, this is the best place to be. This is like learning a flip trick and always catching it, but maybe not landing it. Locking in, that is the hardest part. If you can lock in, you can land it. Right now, I just got to figure out my shoulders and I'm good. I could do one a little better. That was a little Okay, so that shit was way easier than I thought it was gonna be. I'm like kind of tripping because I've tried this trick in the past and I've had no luck with it. And today, I don't know if it's because I tried it on a little ledge or whatever, but I'm just gonna take the dub and say that I figured out how to do it, at least on that ledge. Now I'm gonna move to this taller one because that's gonna require a lot more of me controlling my ollie, or controlling my nollie rather, and getting on top of it because it's not something that I'm gonna go up and over very easily. It's gonna take a little bit of effort for me to get on top, to lock in, and to grind. I did notice that same thing I was talking about earlier with my back foot needing to be in a certain position to kind of carry my nollie. That did everything for this because I'm nollieing off of my front foot and I'm landing in crook on my back foot. So I'm going to keep that in mind. The placement of my back foot is so important to get into this trick. It's like honestly everything. It's going to control my 180 and it's also going to lock into the crook the way I need it to. My prediction for this one is I'm gonna need a little more of an angle, I think, because I have more height to clear. That one, I could go pretty parallel because I'm always gonna nollie over top of that because it was so low. But this one, I might nollie over it if I get the right pop, but it would be very easy for me to under pop just because of the height of this. So little angle is what I'm gonna take. Starting off good. Same place I started over here, 1 foot on, figuring out the nollie. All right, after a couple tries, I think my whole assessment was wrong about this ledge. Because it's taller, you can almost like kind of jam into the side of the ledge and get on top of it. You don't have to like really ollie over it. So I'm gonna use that to my advantage. I'm gonna kind of nollie towards it and just like get close enough that I can lock in and push myself on top and do the crook. I almost saw God. All right, we have one scary try. We're gonna need a couple little confidence boosters to really get us back to where we need to be, because I'm not gonna lie, that shit shook me. I swear this is where I end up in every video. Maybe it's just human behavior or whatever, but I forget about the first trick I'm doing. I gotta remember, it does not happen without a good nollie. Nollie 180 first. I'm gonna focus on nollieing first. You see that? Holy shit. That was scary. A couple more just to forget that. I think we're good. All right, that was shit. One more for good measure. Oh my God. And now I can show you the exact reason why I wanted to learn this trick. I'm stoked I was able to get that one done. That has been on my mind for a little bit. I've always wanted to do a line with a half cab crook and a nollie 180 switch crook, and somehow I just did that first try. I don't know if it's because I got super lucky or if I'm just learning this trick and actually kind of have a better understanding. I'm gonna go with the latter because I think I actually do have a better understanding of this trick. It's been a long time since I've tried this and it's just really never clicked. But today, I finally figured something out about it, and I'm gonna be doing this a lot more. Just as a reminder, I started memberships on my channel, like I was saying earlier. There's 3 different tiers, the top tier being early access to videos I post, a bunch of other cool stuff. I don't really know how this works, so I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments about memberships you're already a part of or things you would like to see my channel feature, and I'd be happy to dial it in, figure it out in the next coming weeks, what's actually of value to you guys. If you guys like this video, please like, comment, and of course subscribe. It's very YouTube-y, I know, feels weird saying it, but it does really help me and it supports me and keeps me making videos like this. As always, I will see you guys next Sunday. Peace.